FindWWP.org.
A giant solar project for Google. I'm Randy Simon, and this is Earthwise, a look at our changing environment. One of the largest solar projects in the U.S. has recently come online in Texas. 3 solar farms built side by side in Buchholz, Texas by SB Energy can provide 875 megawatts of electricity, nearly the size of a typical nuclear power plant. The project will supply the largest solar energy purchase ever made by Google, and the electricity generated will be used to power its new operations in the area. Google will use about 85% of the project's solar power for data centers in Ellis County and for cloud computing in the Dallas region. In total, Google has contracted with clean energy developers to bring more than 2,800 megawatts of new wind and solar projects to Texas. Google expects to spend $16 billion through 2040 to purchase clean energy for its global operations. According to the International Energy Agency, data centers' total electricity consumption could reach more than 1,000 terawatt hours in 2026, which is more than double the amount used in 2022. 1 terawatt hour is enough energy to power 70,000 homes for a year. So it's not surprising that large technology companies are investing heavily in energy technologies. Google, Amazon, and Microsoft have all recently announced investments in nuclear energy to power data centers. These companies all have made commitments to seek sources of carbon-free electricity to power their data centers and their increasing efforts in artificial intelligence. Because of the rise of artificial intelligence, the large companies are not meeting their commitments to reduce their carbon emissions and are needing to greatly increase their efforts to obtain clean power. Earthwise is a production of WAMC. Find us on social media at WAMC Radio and listen anytime at WAMCpodcasts.org.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
We are back here at Spalding University for second half coverage of today's game between the Red Devils and the Golden Eagles. To conclude the first half, both teams tied up at 25. Not a very high-scoring game for either side right now. Both teams not really getting any opportunities to drive to the basket, as very quickly a steal from Alana Jackson over to Redgate, who has the most points on this team right now, and she will be blocked very quickly. And while they continue play, we will talk more about the first half as the whistle blows there. But as I mentioned, Elena Redgate leading the Red Devils in points right now with 8. Redgate, as I said, as both teams not really able to drive to the basket, but Redgate finding ways to make it happen. Eureka in the first quarter shooting 35.5%. Obviously that decreased in the second quarter, moving to 27.8%. Not exactly what you want to see if you're the Red Devils. For the Golden Eagles, we have Racky and Hollowell both shooting the ball really well. 7 points apiece. Hollowell able to get that three-point shot involved just a little bit. We know that Eureka's three-point shooting, obviously I mentioned earlier, not super great in this season, but you don't always need three-pointers to win a game. And Eureka able to kind of manage without shooting from that deep, as Jackson with the basketball now. Eureka trying to take the lead here. Reich, corner three, wide open, bang! Eureka back on top, 28-25. As the clock, 9 minutes now. In the first minute, Eureka able to regain the lead. Hollowell now with the basketball, instead handing it off over to Rogers. But as I was talking, Hollowell 1 for 3 from deep, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. And those free throws for Spalding have been very important. Eureka not getting as many free throws as Spalding, meaning Eureka fouling a lot more than needed. And that's why it's been such a close game. Eureka right now should be way ahead of the Golden Eagles, especially considering on paper where each team stands record-wise. But Eureka just letting Spalding not necessarily take advantage of them, but taking advantage of their fouling. Eureka just turning it over right now. Spalding still down 28-25 to score. Golden Eagles trying to come back into it. Rogers left hook, and that one falls in. 1 point game. Hollowell shooting 400% from deep this season. Obviously a very successful three-point shooter. And Sydney Racky, who I haven't touched a lot upon in this game, shot 0 for 2 from the arc and is 1 for 2 from the field. But most of her points have been from the free throw line. And that is where the Golden Eagles start to kind of want to take those fouls away. Obviously, Eureka will make you take advantage, or they will take advantage of the fact that they get fouled. Whistle blown there. Clock stopping at 7:35. Eureka still on top, 30-27. For Eureka, we've seen Aheda, Reich, Jackson, Webb, and Redgate all on the floor. Currently, Rogers holding the basketball. Webb on her. Golden Eagles only 2 points in this quarter so far. Here's a deep three. Hollowell, no good. Rebounded by Rogers. Hollowell comes up with it, and she's going to be blocked. And a foul call once again. Reich obviously not happy with the call. Kind of just laughing it off at that point. So this will be the first free throw attempts here in this third quarter. Once again, it will be Hollowell stepping up to the line. She earned a career-high 14 points against Principia during her freshman season. Obviously, shooting the ball a lot better as a junior, and she goes 2 for 2 at the line. Once again, a 1 point game between both teams as Webb for the Red Devils taking it up the floor, guarded by Lute. It has been a very confusing first half to this game as both teams just getting into it with each other a little bit. If you're just tuning in now on EC 103.1, both teams kind of got into a confrontation. A few players on Eureka having to step in just a little bit to break things up. But it was Michaela Lute who seemed to take initiative and maybe caused a little bit of a brawl there. Not a huge brawl, but just a little talking back and forth between players having to be separated by the refs in the first half. There was also a technical called against Coach Hedrick. That's the thing, too. When you're a coach in the game, you do have to realize if you do get a tech like that, how it will cost your team. And right now, Eureka only up by a single point, and you have to think if you don't get that technical, you're going to have a much larger lead potentially. Spalding still down by a single point here, 30-29, trying to make their way back into this game, or at least take the lead. Just under 6.5 left to go. Racky, Hollowell in the corner. That one's going to be picked off there, and maybe a little bit too hard of a hit as Spalding comes up with it. Rogers, and looks like that's going to be a jump ball. Rogers looks like she tried to push one of the Eureka players after losing the basketball, and there's just that physicality that starts to appear more and more as we get later into this game. Eureka once again with the basketball, trying to extend their lead. Momentum definitely has gone up. That's something that we preach so often, is the momentum of the Red Devils. Obviously for Eureka, trying to keep it up is the hard part. Lute, fast break opportunity, puts it up. That one falls through. And the Golden Eagles, for the first time in this quarter, grab the lead. Now up 31-30. Jackson now guarded by Lute. trying to find some space. Crossover move, pass to Redgate, puts it up a little bit too strong. Reich able to save it. Nejera now, looks like she kicked it. That one ending up in the hands of Spalding. Here's an opportunity. Blocked. No, looks like a foul against Maxine Nejera there. She wanted the foul call. Excuse me, she wanted the block call for sure. And it looks like now Batiste will get sent to the line, trying to extend the Golden Eagles' lead. So Zenia Batiste, just like Hollowell, she also was an Aero Safety Player of the Game. Not just 2, but 3 different games as well. And she has a season high of 16 points against Fontbonne. And it looks like she's able to make both free throws there. Spalding up 33-30 with just under 5.5 left to go here in this third quarter. Eureka had some momentum coming into this one, trying to find it back. Pump fake there. Reich puts it up and no good, but she is going to get fouled. Nearly could have been a game-tying layup with the foul, but instead Reich will just get sent to the line, trying to once again just make it a 1-point game. Reich shooting 66.7% from the line. Unable to make that first one there. So 5:15 left to go here in quarter number 3. Reich at the line here. And on attempt number 2, she is no good. Looks like Redgate gets the offensive board. Eureka needs to slow it down here. Holtz with a 3, and that one ties it up. Red Devils tie it up at 33. 3-pointer by Bryn Holtz. And it looks like that 3-point game starting to clear up a little bit for the Red Devils. In a conversation with Holtz, she was telling me she would always play street ball with a lot of guys, and it really allowed her to get used to that level of competition, really allowing her to kind of find her own path as a basketball player. Of course, that level of talent as well starting to help out if you're playing against more competitive players. And Holtz able to tie it up at 33 with that 3-pointer. It looks like there is going to be a timeout called here by Coach Hedrick. And as both teams take a break, we will as well. But stay tuned. Both teams tied up at 33 here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. Locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo, Wendy Puff Pizzeria offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 and Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com.
We are back here on EC 103.1. Matthew Swan bringing you today's game, and Bryn Holtz before that break tying the game up with a 3-pointer. And as I was explaining, Bryn Holtz saying she always used to play street ball with a bunch of guys, just getting used to that level of competition, obviously allowing her to get to where she is today. And overall, just a very great player, a very great person as well. One of the best personalities that I've ever came across. And with 4:51 here in this third quarter, Spalding and Eureka still tied up at 33. It's been a very close game since the first quarter. And if you've been with us since the beginning of the broadcast, you know that it's been a very low-scoring game this entire time. A missed 3 there from Holtz. Spalding trying to get back the lead. Here's a mid-range from Rogers. That one no good. Ness trying to fight for it, and Jackson gets it on a deflected pass. Holtz now. Eureka trying to take their time here on this drive. That one looks like it's stripped away, and the whistle by the ref is going to be blown. Looks like a foul call. I believe this one's going against Eureka. Spalding will remain with the basketball. It's going to be Racky to inbound. Malin Reidner back in the game. Remember, she was injured in that second quarter in a huge collision with Jackson and Ness, obviously causing a little bit of some harsh feelings between the two teams. Misses that layup there, and looks like Racky going up for the shot attempt is going to get fouled. So she will have a chance at the line to put Spalding back on top. Sydney Racky, 2022 SLIAC all sportsmanship team. Obviously a huge accomplishment, huge thing to be a part of. She had 117 points, 44 rebounds, 30 assists, and 11 steals, along with 2 blocks, all in that 2022 season. She also has a season high of 21 points against Franklin, able to make that first free throw, trying to go 2 for 2, and does not do so. Very quickly, though, this one going to get turned over to Eureka, as they will get the ball back, only down by 1. Spalding 34, Eureka 33. Just over 4 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Maya Webb with the basketball. That pass is deflected there by Douglas. And it looks like already a turnover. There's that pace of the game, too. That's something that is very important for the Red Devils, something that they haven't necessarily paid too much attention to. Eureka, a very aggressive team, always likes to move the ball very quickly, even when they don't have to. And especially when you're down, you'd like to control the ball just a little bit more. Instead, we're going to see Douglas here at the line, now trying to extend Spalding's lead. Douglas making that first free throw attempt. Also, Douglas has 15 rebounds in her last 5 games. A very aggressive player in the paint. Not really allowing any of her opponents to have a second chance opportunity. And once again, we're going to see this ball get turned over back to Eureka. Spalding now on top 35-33. Clock at 3:53 as we take a short little break from the ref as she blew the whistle. Looks like Bryn Holtz will inbound it here. If you're just now tuning in, Spalding 35, Eureka 33. Just under 4 minutes here in this third quarter. Eureka trying to tie it up here. Nahedo with a mid-range. That one good. And once again, we are all tied up, this time 35. Rogers now with the basketball. Douglas bounce pass over to Racky. Back to Douglas. Eureka's defense trying to heat up. Rogers 3, no good. Bryn with the defensive rebound. Naheda in trouble, finally gets it to Webb. Eureka trying to push the pace here. Bounce pass, loose ball. Redgate blocked, and it looks like that is going to be a jump ball. Eureka wanted a foul call. Doesn't get it. And all game, it seemed like Eureka just not really catching any breaks whatsoever against this Golden Eagles team. Looks like for the Golden Eagles, we're going to see Lute step back into the game. 3:10 left to go here in this third quarter. Eureka on top 35. Eureka tied 35-35 with Spalding. Rogers now with the basketball. She's going to give it over to Reidner. Back to Rogers in that right wing area. In the corner, Madison. Looks like she falls down. This one's going to go out of bounds, and I believe that'll be a turnover against Spalding. Eureka once again retrieving the basketball. Clock at 2:47. Eureka just trying to grab the lead here. Both teams right now kind of just playing just to play. Not really having a passion in this time of matter. Kind of just shooting the ball just to shoot. Bryn Holtz, corner 3, just missing. And that is going to go to Rogers. Spalding now. Bryn Holtz and that 3-point shooting just starting to heat up a little bit. Getting a lot closer. Her shots are definitely becoming a lot more accurate as well. Reidner top of the key. Lute, left wing 3, that one falls. Spalding on top 38-35 as Lute getting more hyped up. And I believe that is going to be a turnover. So Spalding gets the basketball back. Once again, Lute kind of, after that three, shouting in the faces of some of these Eureka players. Obviously not the type of sportsmanship you'd want to see from a team, but it is what it is. Madison corner, up to the rim, throws it up, no good. Holtz with the rebound. Eureka has numbers here. Holtz behind the back pass. The header now. And looks like she is going to get fouled. Man, what a pass by Bryn Holtz. Completely accurate from behind the back as well. But there is a foul call, so the clock does stop at 1:55. Spalding 38, Eureka 35. And it is going to be Naheda to inbound. Abascal with the basketball. Over to Redgate. Eureka slowing things down here. Webb thought about the three. Rushing to the rim. Triple team puts it up, and she is going to get fouled. Great job there by Maya Webb. That's exactly what you want to do. Eureka not really finding any scoring opportunities here. So, of course, Maya Webb, realizing that, goes to the rim, draws the contact, and gets to the line in hopes of cutting down this three-point deficit. Maya Webb shooting 69.8% from the free throw line this season. Trying to tie it up here for the Red Devils. Knocks down that first one. Now a 2-point game. Maya Webb in that very first half scoring only 2 points. Obviously Webb in this game, she's been assisting a lot more than anything. And you can say that with a lot of these Red Devils players. Passing the ball, ball movement in general has just been extremely efficient for Eureka in this game. Webb able to go 2 for 2 from the line. Now a 1-point game. Spalding 38, Eureka 37. Here's a three. That one's short from Hollowell. Eureka coming up with it. Webb. Baseball pass over to Moore. Crossover move. She's in trouble. Has to flip it to Naheda. Here's Webb with a three. Too strong. This one rebounded by Hollowell. Maya Webb trying to take the lead there for Eureka. Looks like Lute now behind the back. Lute, obviously a very aggressive player. You can tell she's definitely a little frustrated from some of the first half instances. Here's a three. That one falls through for Racky. 41-37. Spalding extending their lead, and there's a pass from Webb that goes out of bounds. It'll be a turnover. Eureka doing everything in their power right now just to make sure that this game stays close. Obviously, this is a winnable game for the Red Devils, as I mentioned in the pregame. Spalding sitting in that 7th place spot. And that's a travel. Coach Hedrick obviously very frustrated, as he should be. Lute being a very aggressive player. Lute being a very aggressive player, swatting at Maya Webb's hands. And she did it several times. Yeah, as Coach Hedrick said, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. I don't know. I have no words for that. At least none that I'm able to say, but Abascal up to the rim, puts it up, and no good, but she is fouled. So, once again, we're going to see Eureka draw the contact. That's exactly what you want to do in this situation. Stop the clock. Have an opportunity to get back into this game. Looks like Douglas is going to come in for Lute here, who is now getting subbed out of the game, as she should be. Abascal now at the line, trying to cut down that deficit. First attempt, no good. And that's been almost the story for both teams in this game. Each player, almost every single player, going 1 for 2 from the line. Abascal's second attempt, that one does go in. So she goes 1 for 2. And just like that, Spalding picking up the pace here. 29 seconds on the game clock. Douglas finding some room, puts it up. That one no good. Gets her own offensive board and puts it back up and in. So that's something that cannot happen. Eureka trying to limit second chance points here. Not doing so. Naheda catching Douglas off guard. Webb thought about a three. Naheda in the paint, puts it up, no good. Redgate, rebound, also no good. And Douglas coming up with it, she'll get fouled. And that'll stop the clock at 1.6, and it will be Spalding basketball. I believe that was a foul against Douglas too. And because of the bonus, she will be sent to the line. 2 shots for Douglas coming up. Obviously, Spalding trying to extend their lead here. Currently 43-38. Douglas making that 44-38. 1.6 on the clock. Douglas in the first half, also only 2 points. Obviously getting a lot more involved here. And that second one misses. And because of the 1.6 seconds on the clock, that is how this quarter will end. So Spalding, after 3, up 44-38. Eureka going to have to try to pull a huge, not a huge, but Eureka obviously going to have to try to pull a fourth quarter comeback. Up next, stay tuned for fourth quarter coverage here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria, an Epson distributor serving central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. Learn about sustainable printing solutions from City Blue Technologies at citybluetechnologies.com.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney, Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. Get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com.
Getting ready for the fourth quarter here at Spalding between the Red Devils and the Golden Eagles. Spalding currently on top, 44. Eureka, 38, obviously trailing and going to need a fourth quarter comeback here. So who will it be to step up? Play hero, come back. Abascal quickly in trouble, losing the basketball. Racky coming up with it. Bounce pass over to Rogers. This isn't what you want to happen. And it looks like Redgate a little bit mismatched on defense there. Douglas outside. Now Rogers in that corner. Very quickly in this fourth quarter, Spalding moving the ball really well. And it looks like that one's going to get tipped out of bounds by Holtz. So clock stops at 9:33. It'll stick with the Golden Eagles here. For Spalding, Lute continuing to just be a little too aggressive on the floor. Douglas pass outside, mid-range 2. Racky no good. Rebounded there, put up, and a foul. That one's going against Batiste, so she now will get sent to the line in hopes of extending that Golden Eagles lead. 9:22 on the clock. Batiste, as I was talking about earlier, has a season high of 16 points against Fontbonne. That was a game on the road for the Golden Eagles in which they won 59-34. So that was one of their 3 overall wins and one of their 2 SLIAC wins as well. Missing that second attempt there. She goes 1 for 2. Holtz, we know her three-point shooting has been getting closer and closer. Already has a 3 in this game. Redgate in trouble in the corner. Back to Holtz. Spalding's defense really strict right now. Huge pass all the way to Reich. Mid-range 2. That one falls in. What a great job by Sierra Garcia Reich to be able to stop her feet, pick up the dribble, fire, and still be on target. Douglas finding an open lane, uses that left hand. No good, but a foul. And once again, we'll see Spalding head to the line. So Eureka, what they did so well in that third quarter was draw the contact, stop the clock, get to the line. That's exactly what Spalding is doing right here, right now, when it matters in the fourth quarter. Douglas making that first attempt. And it looks like once again, 1 for 2 from the line, but there's an offensive board by Batiste. Rogers trying to capitalize here, puts it up. That one goes in. It is now an 8-point lead for the Spalding Golden Eagles. Jackson now. Outside pass, that one's going to be tipped, and it looks like there's a foul against Alana Jackson. Maybe a push. It looks like the ref is signaling, so clock stops at 8:31. Already this clock is moving really fast in this fourth quarter. Maybe a little too fast as Eureka still trailing by 8 points, just trying to come back here. In that previous quarter, Eureka shooting 30.8% from the field. Spalding shooting 38.5%. Spalding, of course, having the higher field goal percentage in the last 2 quarters. Remember, in the first quarter, it was pretty much all Eureka, at least as time was expiring in that first quarter. And then after that first quarter, Spalding kind of started to find their way into things, and especially in that third quarter, pulling away just a little bit. After that turnover from Spalding, Eureka now getting the ball back. 8:12 on the clock. Spalding still on top, 48-40 here in this fourth quarter with just over 8 minutes left. Lute guarding Jackson at the top of the key. Crossover move from Jackson, gets past her defender. She's going to put it up, right hand, no good. Webb fighting against 4 Golden Eagles. Lute up with it. Racky now in the paint, left hand, no good. Gets her own offensive board. That's something Eureka needs to eliminate right now. You have to get those defensive rebounds if you're the Red Devils. Already allowed a decent amount of second chance points for Spalding. Can't keep that up. Lute finding space. Here's a wide open corner 3 from Racky. Spins in and out. Ness with the rebound. Webb taking it up the floor. Into the hands of Naheda. Eureka trying to find something here. Wide pass over to Webb. Jackson out in the paint. There's a cut from Naheda. Puts it up. That one no good. Spalding got a lucky bounce there. There's that double team from Naheda and Jackson against Rogers, and unfortunately it doesn't work. But most of the game, Eureka's been playing that defensive shift where one player has the ball, they shift 2 players over, and eventually one of them gets back to their original defender. Rogers against Ness, puts it up, no good, a little bit too strong. A fight for the basketball between Naheda and Batiste. A jump ball is the call. We'll see which team it goes to. And this one is going to stick with the Golden Eagles. Coming into the game for Spalding, looks like Malin Reidner once again. Reidner, season high of 17 points this season, in which she had 5 field goals. That was against Westminster. Another one of those pretty huge conference games for the Golden Eagles. There's a quick tip out of bounds by Moore. And here's where Eureka's defense is really going to start to dial things up. Not really letting their opponent inbound the ball. We've seen that quite a while all season. Bounce pass over to Rogers. Fighting against Moore. Right hand, no good. She is fouled though. Even though the shot clock expired, the foul came before that expiration. Once again, Spalding and Rogers finding another way just to get to the line. Her first attempt, no good, and with the way this game's been going, you know that means she's going to make her next attempt. Rogers in this game now 0 for 1 from the field. Make that 1 for 2, and it is now a 49-40 game. Spalding on top. There is a timeout called. We're going to keep things here, though. Eureka obviously not shooting as well as Spalding right now, and especially as they were in the first quarter, just trying to find that spark of momentum. It's been the season story, and still having trouble right now. We're crossing that halfway point in the season, and these are where these games really start to mean something, especially now all being conference games for the rest of the season. This is where we're going to see which teams are really capable of winning the important games. And Eureka, like I said, this should be a winnable game for the Red Devils on paper, but we're going to see how things turn out here. 6:44 left to play. Spalding a 9-point lead right now. And it's going to be Maya Webb taking it up the floor for the Red Devils. Maxine Neheta. Long pass across court. Here's a deep two from Reich. That one barely missing, and Spalding able to come up with that rebound. Rogers up the floor. Webb obviously applying pressure. There's a great screen there from Batiste. Rogers up too strong. Almost nearly a pick and roll move. Not necessarily, but Reich gonna take her time. Red Devils have a lot of time. Webb, corner three, bang! Maya Webb with the corner three. That one tipped out of bounds by Reich. Eureka starting to come back into this game. 6:02 on the clock. Spalding 49, Eureka 43. It's going to be Malin Ryder to inbound. Reich will guard her, which means she's going to make it very difficult here to inbound the basketball. Refs having some discussion, and finally it looks like we are going to resume play here. Bounce pass over to Douglas. She will be guarded. And across that half-court line, finally she's going to put one up. That one way too easy there for Douglas. Kind of shrugging her shoulders, telling Eureka, can't give me that wide-open shot. I'll take it every single time. Behind the back from Jackson now. Eureka still trailing in this one. 5:40 left to go. Redgate, mid-range two. That one good. Eureka making very great shot-making decisions right now. Back-to-back drives in which they were able to make something work offensively. Lute with a three. That one short. Rebounded by Racky. That cannot happen if you're the Red Devils. Fighting for the basketball. Lute now. Here's a pass. Rydner three. That one no good. Redgate comes up with it. Red Devils getting a little lucky there after allowing another opportunity on the same drive. Neheta between the legs. Eureka needs to slow things down here. Webb, top of the key, thought about it. Reich goes for the three. No good. Rebounded by Douglas. Red Devils just looking for that one shot, that one player to really step up here in this fourth quarter and be the hero. Looks like a foul call there. I believe that one's going to go against Reich, and that will send Rydner to the free throw line.
23, Garcia Reich, her fourth team score.
Reich obviously not happy, and at this point of the game, you still have just under 5 minutes left to go. If you're the Red Devils, you don't want to foul right now. Excuse me, that isn't going to be a free throw opportunity, as I believe that was... Reich doesn't have enough fouls right now. Racky back with the basketball. Bounce pass. Rydner back to Racky, who stands at the top of the key. Lute thought about a wide open three instead. Hands it off to Racky once again. In the paint, Batiste, no good. Great defensive drive there from the Red Devils. Neheta faking out Douglas. Webb, open three. Bang! Maya Webb. Her second three of this fourth quarter. It is now a 3-point game. Spalding 51, Eureka 48. And there are just 4 minutes left to go here in this one. Douglas behind the back, floats it up. That one no good. Webb getting the rebound. Eureka a chance to tie it up here. There's a screen from Redgate. Webb on the floor, fires. It spins in and out, so close for Eureka to make it a 1-point game. Douglas once again, she'll go for that same floater, also no good. Eureka needs to really slow things down here. Naheda, open look at the rim off her feet, and it goes out of bounds. Maxine Naheda had to stretch her arm out just a little bit too much as that pass up the floor was a little bit wide. And now it looks like this one is going to get turned over to Spalding once again. 3:32 left to go on the clock. Spalding 51, Eureka 48. There is a timeout called. Once again, we're going to keep things here. That's the biggest thing that the Red Devils need to keep in mind with 3.5 minutes left to go. Control the basketball. It sounds so simple, but it is so crucial, especially at this point of the game. A very important conference game, especially for the Red Devils, if, of course, they're trying to stay above that 500 mark in the SLIAC standings. And not only that, but it's a message to other teams as well. You don't want teams looking and going that we lost to the 7th place team, especially when you have that 4th place spot yourself. So controlling the basketball for Eureka is going to be huge here. Defense in this 4th quarter has been great. But controlling the basketball, not so much, as we saw that turnover there. Of course, you're anticipating something big. As I mentioned, you're looking for that one player, but you cannot rely on one person. It is a team effort at the end of the day, and Eureka just trying to get something working here offensively, and they're going to have to do that by slowing things down. So Spalding coming out of their timeout, Eureka back onto the floor. 3:32 on the clock. Spalding 51, Eureka 48. And this one is going to start with the Golden Eagles here. It's going to be Hollowell to inbound. Reich once again will guard Hollowell very closely, and this is where that defense starts to be very important. And I believe that's a turnover against the Golden Eagles. No call yet. And they're going to say that it's still the Golden Eagles ball. I'm not sure what they see that I don't. So once again, we're going to have Hollowell inbound. Eureka not making it easy. There's a pass. Finally, Lute able to find some space. Naheda picks that one off, and no. Rogers coming back up with it. Nearly a steal there. And this one nearly goes out of bounds. There's a push off there, a turnover. Eureka basketball. 3:20 on the clock. Red Devils get the basketball back. Jackson with the basketball. She's going to try to find some room. Reich to Redgate. Naheda wants it. And that one between the legs. Naheda fighting for it. Between Lute and Naheda. Once again, a jump ball. We'll see. This one looks like it's going to go over to Maya Webb. So Eureka remains with the basketball. 3:09 on the clock. Eureka still down by 3 points. 3 minutes in basketball is like an eternity. Naheda outside Reich. Over to Jackson. Jackson crossover move. Outside Webb. Pump fake. Back to Reich. Reich open three. No good. Naheda offensive board. Jackson now needs to take her time. Eureka has that shot clock reset. Redgate in the paint. She's going to give it to Naheda. Naheda not using the screen from Redgate. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Webb in trouble. Redgate going to have to fire. Good! 1 point game. Spalding 51, Eureka 50. And with just over 2.5 left to go, Spalding right now looking to keep the lead. Eureka picks it off. Reich, good! And the foul! Eureka on top. 52-51, and Reich at the line. There will be some substitutions for Spalding, but Eureka making that huge fourth quarter comeback. Sierra Garcia Reich. Reich fires that one, no good. Eureka fighting for the offensive board. Naheda keeps it in play. A chance to even further extend their lead. Just got to slow things down here. Redgate once again, that shot a little too off, and Spalding comes up with it. Down by a point, just over 2 minutes left to go. Reidner over to Lute. Lute with a three. That one no good. Reich with the rebound. And now Eureka needs to control the ball, and they can slow things down here exactly as Nehera will do. Webb against Rogers at the rim. Puts it up, no good, but she is fouled. Webb can make it a 2-point game if she goes 1 for 2, which is how most of the night has gone for almost every player at the line. Or she can make it a 3-point game if she goes 2 for 2. Webb gets in her stance. Fires the first one, and that one falls. 53-51, Red Devils on top. 1:45 left to go. Webb getting ready for her second opportunity. Webb through 3 quarters. 4 points, and she goes 2 for 2. It is a 3-point game. Eureka on top. Lute double teamed right now. Going to have to get it over to Rogers. Eureka trying to argue she stepped out of bounds, but it looks like Spalding just called the timeout right before any call can get made. So Red Devils in a timeout along with the Golden Eagles. I'm sure Spalding just trying to find something here to get going. Right now, if you're the Golden Eagles, your best bet is giving your chance to Racky. Racky, 11 points on the night. She does have a 3-pointer as well. Obviously not needed. You don't want to go and give up your possession if you're the Golden Eagles. You want to try to get in the paint, draw the contact, stop the clock. Because right now, Spalding is in a position where they're trying to come back with under 2 minutes left to go. So you want to use as little clock as possible. Of course, Eureka, I'm sure being told not to foul, keep your hands up. And offensively, you know that they're just going to try to stall out the clock as well. Exactly the opposite of what the Golden Eagles want. Douglas in the game will inbound it. There's Racky. And you can imagine she's going to be the one to have a shot. Douglas over to Racky. Open three. That one no good. Rebounded there by Batiste. Douglas with the basketball once again outside. Rogers thought about it. Eureka cannot foul here. Racky's going to go for the floater. And that one gets a lucky bounce and falls in. 1-point game. And once again, Spalding is going to take a 30-second timeout. Spalding 53, Eureka 54, and there is 1:18 left to go on the clock. Same thing here if you're the Red Devils. Try to draw out as much clock as possible. Use all 30 seconds of your shot clock. And at the very end, you're going to want to go in, draw contact if you're the Red Devils. Anything to add on to their point total here. The biggest thing for Eureka is to just draw the clock out. But on top of that, there's not enough time to do that without not needing to score. So the Red Devils still are going to have to score here. They'll start with the basketball all the way on the opposite side of the court. Nehera inbounds it to Webb. She'll take her time walking up the floor. Now standing on that logo, crossing the half-court line. Webb taking her time, gets it over to Jackson. Lute guarding Jackson. Nehera guarded by Racky. Now Redgate. There's a cut from Nehera. Spins, puts it up, no good. Douglas and the Eagles, chance to take the lead. They're going to take their time here. Nearly a thrown away pass there from Rogers. Douglas at the top of the key. Racky's going to go put it up. That one falls, and Sydney Racky puts Spalding back on top. There's a turnover. Douglas, no good. Eureka needing to slow things down here. 33 seconds left. Webb passes it. Redgate fires, good! Eureka back on top. 28 seconds left to go. Looks like a timeout is going to get called. So 26.8 seconds left to go. Eureka 56, Spalding 55. The timeout called there by Spalding will allow them to start with the basketball on their side of the floor. Obviously, a three-point shot is not in the question right now. They are not even thinking of that. If you're Spalding, you're trying to draw the contact. Game plan stays the same. Draw the contact, get the clock to stop, have an opportunity at the line. Through the first three quarters, Spalding shooting 63.6% from the line. We know that almost every single player from each side has gone 1 for 2 from the line, so there is really just a 50% chance for each player right now. For Eureka, obviously the game plan, you cannot foul. That's the big thing. You cannot foul, but also you don't want to make it easy for Spalding to score. You're only up by a point if you're the Red Devils. So you don't want to make it easy for them to score, but you also cannot foul. So you have to somewhat find that right balance, and that's exactly what Eureka's pretty decent at. So it's going to be Racky to inbound. Once again, Racky shooting the ball really well in this game. I'm sure we'll see her go up for that shot. Douglas being aggressive, bounce pass over to Rogers. Rogers to Lute. Lute's going to give it to Racky. Racky to the rim, puts it up, and good. A lucky bounce. 10 seconds left to go. And the Red Devils will call a timeout. So Spalding on top 57-56 in the fourth quarter. Eureka 10 seconds with the basketball. Eureka going to need to draw the contact here as the roles are reversed. Spalding obviously not going to foul, but Eureka's going to look for that contact. Right now, Eureka talking about some type of game plan. I'm sure that we might see Maya Webb or Elena Redgate come into play here. I'm sure Webb will have a hand on the basketball, but I do feel as if the scorer for the Red Devils will be either Redgate or Reich. Both of those players have been doing great all season, not just this game, but all season, getting into the paint. They know how to make those mid-range jumpers. So expect to see them, one of those two, go up for a shot here with 10.9 seconds left to go. Spalding fans sit behind me, obviously getting more into it. Still in a timeout here. Finally, it looks like we will resume play. Spalding 57, Eureka 56, 10.9 seconds left to go. Game almost over. Eureka trying to get something going here. Look for Redgate. Look for Reich. Webb, Naheda, and Jackson also on the floor. Reich will inbound. She's going to give it to Webb. Webb heavily guarded by Douglas, and there is a foul. A very much not needed foul against Spalding. And once again, we're going to see Reich inbound. Eureka. Naheda. Redgate in the paint. That one's tipped out of bounds. It sticks with the Red Devils. 4.4 seconds on the clock. Spalding 57, Eureka 56. Webb will now inbound. Eureka going to have to get a shot out. This one, Reich. Jackson rushing the rim. Webb puts it up, no good. And Spalding comes up with the win. A heartbreak loss for the Red Devils. 57-56 the final. Webb just a little too jumpy on that shot. It was a little too strong. And by the time she got the rebound, the clock expired. So 57-56 the final. And that is how this one will end. Eureka will now drop 7-6 overall and now become 3-3 in the SLIAC standings. As I said, that is how this one will end. Our next broadcast of Eureka College basketball will be in about 30 minutes when Eureka visits the Spalding Golden Eagles. You can hear that broadcast right here on EC 103.1. Coverage begins in about 30 minutes live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth. Eureka College basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of a leading Epson dealer serving Central Illinois, Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka, and by Cornerstone Family Restaurant, also in Eureka. The executive producer of Eureka College is Dr. John Malone. Tonight's studio operator was also Dr. John Malone. On behalf of my crew, this is Matthew Swan. Thank you for listening.
Donna Sweeney. Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. Get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. Locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo, Wendy Puff Pizzeria offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 and Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com.
And we are back from that short break. After the anthem, now starting lineups will be announced.
First for the visiting team, the Red Devils of Eureka College. At guard, a 5'4" junior.
For Eureka, it looks like it's going to be Maya Webb, Sierra Garcia-Reich, Alana Jackson, Elena Redgate, and Maxine Najera. We did talk about Maya Webb in the pregame. We know that she has started in every single game this season. Always a great thing to make sure that she's getting her minutes in for sure. One thing that I did not highlight about Maya Webb in the pregame is that she is shooting 35.5% from the field. Obviously, she's great at attacking the paint as well, and she just is a phenomenal player. Maxine Najera shooting 46.2% from the field. So a lot of these upperclassmen players on this Red Devils team are really crucial and important to attacking. Looks like for Spalding, we're going to see Michaela Lute. We're going to see Isis Rogers, Sydney Rack, Ziana Batiste, and Nicole Hollowell.
Golden Eagles! And guard, a 5'4" junior from Hoover Heights, Ohio. Number 0, Michaela Lute. And guard, a 5'5" junior from Berea, Kentucky. Number 4, Isis Rogers. At guard, a 5'8" senior from Louisville, Kentucky. Number 10, Sydney Rocky. At forward, a 5'10" junior from Pontiac, Michigan. Number 20, Zania Batiste. And at forward, a 5'6" junior from Orlando, Florida. Number 24, Nicole Hollowell. The head coach for the Golden Eagles is Ben Arsenault, assisted by Charles Jones.
So there you have it for both starting lineups. Both teams make their way out onto the floor, ready to get things going here Eureka obviously in need of a huge win after losing to Spalding at home. So they're going to have to really make an appearance here on the road. We're going to see Elena Redgate in the center going for the tip-off against Xana Batiste. Ref finds his way into the center of the court, getting ready. And this one's going to end up in the hands of Rogers. So Spalding is going to have the very first opportunity to score. One thing to mention about Eureka's defense is that they continue to improve every single game. Here's a three from Hollowell. That one wide, no good. Eureka's defense continuing to improve every single game. We know that they had a lot of steals last game. Here's a corner three from Webb. No good there. This one's going to end up in the hands of Spalding. And just like that, that Eureka defense that I was just mentioning, able to knock that one out of bounds. Great job by Maya Webb right there. Once again, Spalding with the basketball. It'll be Lute, and she's going to try to bounce pass it over to her teammate, but Maya Webb, once again, making herself known early on the floor. That'll be the first turnover for the Golden Eagles here in this one. Only about 40 seconds played so far, and Webb will now take it up the floor. Reich is going to pass. Redgate in the paint, fighting, double teamed. Bounce pass back to Reich. This one taken away there. Isis Rogers now in the hands of Lute once again. She'll be guarded by Reich. Lute, 140 total points during her freshman season. A phenomenal way to get your collegiate career started. Here's a deep two. That one no good. Rebounded by Jackson. Eureka with a fast break opportunity here. Naheda inside the arc. She's going to go up, jump, and no good there. This one does return to Spalding, and very quickly, Sierra Garcia-Reich able to force a turnover there. As I was talking about, Eureka's defense continuing to just show up every single second, as at least it seems that way for their opponents. Eureka forcing 20 turnovers last game against Webster. Here's a pass from Reich. Naheda, no good. That one's going to go out of bounds. And that will be a turnover against Eureka. That is their first one of the night. So each team now at a turnover apiece. It's going to be Lute trying to fight past Reich, making her way up the floor. Reich not making it very easy, and finally Lute able to get past that half-court line. Now this one into the hands of Rogers. She'll pass in the paint, trying to find some room. Batiste spinning over Redgate, no good. Naheda with the rebound, nearly lost that one out of bounds, but Maxine will make her way up to the floor. Jackson in the three. She's going to fight in the paint outside Reich to Webb. Back to Naheda. Gathers herself. Reich, backdoor cut. She puts it up and good. And that is how Eureka will get things started here. Sierra Garcia-Reich quickly adding 2 points to the scoreboard. Eureka, 2-0 lead. Lute trying to speed up the pace of the game. Rogers now thinking about a three instead. Going up for a left-hand layup. Rack, no good. And once again, Reich coming up with the rebound. There's a pass over to Redgate. And tried to bounce that one in between the legs of Rogers. Unfortunately, it goes out of bounds. Maybe Webb wasn't necessarily ready for it. And that just goes back to the awareness I was talking about that Eureka somewhat lacks in their last few games. After that loss to Webster, Eureka on a losing streak of just one game, so nothing terrible, but they do now sit in fourth place in SLIAC play right behind Lyon, they are actually tied, three wins, 2 losses each. They both sit behind Westminster 4-1. And of course, Principia remains in that top spot, still undefeated in conference play. It looks like there is going to be an inbounder here for Spalding. Quickly getting it to Rack. Now Hollowell in some trouble. Eureka's defense shifting. They worked on the shift before the start of the game. Top of the key now. Bounce pass in the corner. Lute trying to get past Holtz. Doesn't do so, and the shot clock does expire. There's that defense from the Red Devils continuing to appear. And just like that, Eureka getting the ball back. 6:44 left on the clock. Eureka still up 2-0. Webb now over to Redgate. Redgate directing traffic. Holtz, top of the key. Holtz, a very aggressive player. She's going to run to the rim, puts it up, no good. Jackson fighting for the rebound. And there is going to be a foul call there. That one is going to be against Spalding. That'll be the team's first foul. Naheda quickly looking for someone. Redgate open two and good. So Reich and Redgate now adding to the scoreboard. Each have 2 points in this game. Spalding looking for an offensive answer here very early on. Unable to get anything working for them so far. Hollowell. Now Rogers back to Hollowell, guarded by Naheda. Rogers, here's a deep three. That one splash right in. A three-pointer for Nicole Hollowell. Just like that, Spalding cuts the lead, the point deficit down to 1. Now Redgate trying for a three. No good there. That one's going to be rebounded by Rogers as well. So Eureka unable to knock down that three there. We know Eureka's three-point shooting this season has not been significant. Here's another three from Rogers. It goes in, but she's going to get called for a travel. So another turnover here against Spalding. That'll be their second of the night. And Eureka will have a chance to extend their lead up 4-3 right now. Clock at 5:36. Once again, Maya Webb taking it up the floor. Webb heavily guarded. Trying to find some space. She's going to put it up, and she is blocked right there by Baptiste. Running up the floor. Fast break opportunity for the Eagles. Douglas trying to find an open lane. Bounce pass in the corner, and not nearly enough room for Rogers to make a three. Back to Douglas, who stands on that Spalding logo. Rogers once again. There's a great job by Holtz to switch back to her original offender right there. Going up for the shot, and she is going to be fouled. So looks like Madison is going to have an opportunity for two at the free throw line. First attempt for 3 free throws for either team here in this game. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney. Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. You can get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com. So right there, Madison only able to go 1 for 2 from the line, but she does tie the game up at 4. Holtz now tries to go for the right-hand hook, and that one hits off of the side of the backboard. It'll go out of bounds.
Now in the game for Spalding, number 5.
Coming into the game for Spalding, Madeline Breidner. So she'll see her first minutes of the game. Josie Ness in for Eureka. Bryn Holtz taking a little break here. Also in for Eureka, Lainey Moore. Moore, a season high of 13 points this season. Remember, that was the first game of the season for the Red Devils against Dominican. Naheda in the paint, puts it up, no good. Moore with the offensive board. And unfortunately, she is going to get called for a foul. Another Eureka turnover. They had 28 in their last game against Webster. So as much as Eureka's defense is able to force the turnovers, Eureka themselves have a problem with turnovers. Clock stops at 4:41. Both teams only 4 points each. So a very slow game offensively for both sides. Naheda trying not to allow Madison to get the ball in. Moore's going to steal it, but now Douglas back to Webb. Eureka has numbers here. Webb puts it up. That one falls in. And Eureka now takes the lead once again, 6-4, with just under 4.5 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. Douglas takes it up the floor, quickly fouled there by Maya Webb. So once again, we're going to see another clock stoppage early on. Finally, we're going to be able to resume play. Naheda not making it easy for Spalding to inbound it here. Quickly in trouble, Reidner. She's going to bounce pass to Douglas. Another bounce pass stripped by Jackson. Loose ball, Naheda running, picks it up. She has some room. Floater, that one no good. Douglas with the rebound. Crossover move there against Moore. Bounce pass over to Reidner. In the paint looking for help. Reidner once again in trouble. Double teamed Webb and Naheda, and she is going to get fouled. So this will be another opportunity for Spalding to inbound here. Eureka up 6-4, 3:53 left to go in quarter number 1. Here is coverage on EC 103.1. Matthew Swan bringing you today's game. It's going to be Sydney once again inbounding for the Golden Eagles. One of the things Eureka doesn't make it easy to do, and right there, Josie Ness tipping it out of bounds.
Nicole Hollowell back on the court now for the Golden Eagles.
Looks like we'll have more substitutions on Spalding's side as we get back into play. Here at the top of the key, Batiste, she's going to hand it off to Lute, who also steps back into the game. Alyssa Abascal on her. Looking for room is Sydney. She's going to pass, fire, no good there, and the shot clock once again expires, but it looks like Naheda is going to get called for a foul, and she's visibly frustrated, as understandably so. Clock now at 3:31. Looks like that is going to be a foul there against Hollowell. She'll have an opportunity at the line to tie it up here for the Golden Eagles.
Shooting 2. In for the Red Devils, number 40, Eureka.
So here's Hollowell at the line. Nicole Hollowell was an Aero Safety Player of the Game this season 2 different times. Obviously a great accomplishment. Getting her minutes in for sure. And she's able to knock down both free throws there to tie it up at 6. 3:31 left to go. Jackson coming out of the game. Reich back in for the Red Devils. And quickly, Abascal is going to take it up the floor. As I mentioned, both teams not really scoring a lot of points here in the first quarter. Eureka trying to find that right shift. Putting it up is Redgate, no good, but she is going to get fouled. And now she will get sent to the line.
Number 20, Zelena Batiste, charge of the foul, her first, team second.
So Elena Redgate.
Redgate at the line for the Red Devils. Shooting 2.
She makes her first one there, putting Eureka back on top, 7-6. Redgate obviously increasing her point total this season, especially the more time she plays, which is fair to say considering she's having all this experience making both free throws. Eureka now up 8-6. There's a baseball pass nearly out of bounds, and it looks like Spalding did go out of bounds there. Rogers getting called for that one. It's going to be another turnover. Eureka once again will get the basketball. It'll be Elena Redgate, who just put Eureka back on top, inbounding to Abascal, who takes it up the floor. Abascal, guarded by Reidner, nearly loses the ball. Moore comes back up with it. There's a great screen from Josie Ness. There's the flip to Reich. Reich over to Abascal, left wing, looking for a screen. Redgate wants it. Abascal continuing to fight. Pass is deflected. Moore comes up with it. There's a pass to Reich. Back to Moore. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Moore fires, no good. And just like that, Spalding will have an opportunity to tie once again. Batiste now over to Reidner. Back in the hands of Batiste. Here's a corner three from Lute. That one no good. Abascal defensive rebound. She'll take it up the floor. Lute trying to stop her momentum. Kind of throwing her body into that one. Ness now directing traffic. Now over to Redgate. Redgate heavily guarded by Hollowell. Reich in the paint. That one's going to be tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Red Devils here. Clock stops at 2:06. Eureka remaining on top 8-6. A very low-scoring first quarter. Moore and Ness are both going to come out of the game. We see Holtz once again, along with Jackson. Reich looking for Holtz. She's going to float this one in the air to Abascal, who stands at the top of the key. Wants a three. Gives it to Holtz instead. Holtz, a lot of trouble against Lute. There's a pass. That one's picked off by Hollowell. Lute, that one's going to be tipped away by Abascal now. So both teams playing very great defense, but also not so great of offenses. Only 14 total points combined between both teams. And we're almost through the first quarter. Fighting in the paint. Madison, she loses that one. Holtz comes up with it. Fast break opportunity for the Red Devils. Holtz stops her feet, picks up the basketball. She needs help. Abascal now. Abascal in the corner to Reich. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Redgate in the paint. Bounce pass. Jackson floats it up off the backboard. No good. Offensive board to Abascal. That one's going to be taken away by Lute. So no good for anything there for Eureka. Hollowell is going to come up with it now. Left wing, Sydney. Now back to Lute. She's going to find an open space, and looks like that one going to be a travel. Another Golden Eagles turnover. A lot of turnovers from Spalding early on. 1:12 left to go here in quarter number one. Eureka on top 8-6. Just like that, we get back into play after that turnover there. Abascal for Eureka, back to Jackson. Ball movement once again. There's a nice open shot from Redgate in the paint, and it is now a 10-6 game. Red Devils on top. It looks like Jackson really fooling Madison on that last play. Great job by Jackson to switch up her stance and move her feet. Not necessarily a cut, but she was able to get just enough space to have an open shot right underneath the rim. Eureka once again getting the basketball back here. Reich. Redgate now in the paint. Bounce pass. Abascal saves it. Here's Holtz. Top of the key three. Bang! That one's good. 13-6. Red Devils on top. Nearly picked off there from Reich. Sydney having trouble getting past the half-court line. Finally does. Rogers now back to Sydney, guarded by Jackson. 25 seconds on the game clock left. In the paint, and that one's going to be tipped out of bounds there by Rogers. It'll go back to the Red Devils. 21.2 left on the game clock. If Eureka wants to, they can hold on to it the rest of the quarter. It looks like that's exactly what they'll do. Maybe still, of course, try to get a shot up. Redgate bounce pass to Holtz in the paint. She spins, fires off the backboard, and good. 15-6 Red Devils. 4 seconds now on the game clock. And that is how the first quarter will end. So Eureka leading 15-6. A very strong offensive quarter for the Red Devils, at least in the final few minutes. And that is how this first quarter will end. We will be back for the second quarter up next. Stay tuned here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria, an Epson distributor serving Central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. Learn about sustainable printing solutions from City Blue Technologies at citybluetechnologies.com.
We are back here on EC 103.1 for more coverage of today's game. Eureka ending that first quarter up 15-6. Obviously, a very strong defensive quarter from both teams, but as I mentioned before the break, Eureka, in the last few minutes of that first quarter, able to start to slip away just a little bit. That's exactly what Eureka's been looking to do all season. We know that they're good at starting the first quarter off very strongly. It's just holding on to that momentum, carrying it through the rest of the game. So Elena Redgate for Eureka, 2 for 3 from the field already. She's been great fighting through contact here early on in this one. And she leads the team right now with 6 points. So already getting back to it, both teams on the floor. Red Devils with the basketball. Jackson left wing, guarded heavily. Reich, open three, fires, no good. This one's going to be rebounded very quickly by Batiste. Eureka, another steal there. And finally, Lute comes up with it. Spalding will have a fast break opportunity here. Rogers have to spin out as she's heavily guarded there. Reich and Jackson. Finally, the whistle will be blown. So already not even 30 seconds in, and we see our first clock stoppage of the second quarter. Spalding remains with the basketball. Here's a corner three. That one no good. There's a miss from Sydney. Abascal picking up the pace. She's going to get into the paint under the rim, and she's going to be blocked. And it looks like the ref saying this one's going to go back to the Golden Eagles. Abascal maybe not so happy with the call, but nothing you could do about it. Eureka this season averaging 48.2 turnovers a game. And I mentioned earlier, it's not really so much of an issue with ball control as a pickoff there from Abascal. And once again, she's quickly blocked. Spalding not really allowing her to get anything going right under the rim. Abascal for Eureka, not a very tall player, standing at 5'4", and obviously that's going to allow some of these Spalding players to use their height advantage. Redgate now under the rim spins and fires a little too much. Reich picks it off. Back to Abascal, and now she's going to get fouled. So once again, another clock stoppage.
Fouls on number 0, Lute. Her first, team's first.
So that one's going to go against Lute. Looks like Holtz now in the corner, and looks like, yeah, she is going to get called for the travel there. Tried to play it off a little bit, unable to do so. Now we're going to see Sydney once again inbounding. I talked about it before. Eureka makes it so tough. Abascal picking that one off. She's going to have some room here. Mid-range jumper, spins in and out, no good. Rebounded by Rogers. Rogers over to Sydney. Bounce pass now back to Rogers. Here's an open shot for Hollowell. Puts it up, no good. Lute now in the paint outside. Here's a three from Rogers. That one goes in. So Spalding cuts the Eureka lead down just a little bit more. Eureka 15, Spalding 9, about just over 8.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Holtz may be looking for a three of her own. Spalding's defense heating up here. Abascal open mid-range. That one no good. Jackson offensive board. And that pass to Reich is going to get picked off by Hollowell. Fast break here for Sydney. Floats it up and good. And just like that, Coach Hedrick calling a timeout for Eureka. Red Devils 15, Golden Eagles 11. Clock stopping at 8:10 here as they take a break. We will as well. Stay tuned for more second quarter coverage here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney, Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. Get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com.
We return here to Spalding University as Eureka still up 15, Spalding 11, but the Golden Eagles starting to make their way back into this one. A three from Rogers, and then a layup from Sydney puts them back into it, only down by 4. Just over 8 minutes left to go. And there's a pass from Webb. That one's picked off there by Baptiste. And once again, that momentum that Eureka still desperately trying to find is starting to fade away. All season long, Eureka's just been looking for that spark. Webb nearly picking that one off. And Eureka unable to find that spark of momentum or even motivation that just keeps them going all game. Right hand, and that one falls in. Sydney Racky once again. Eureka needing something here. Alyssa Zarello in the game for the Red Devils. Moore, bounce pass over to Ness. Ness stops her feet. There's a handoff to Webb. Open mid-range jumper. That one no good. There's a bounce that severely helped the Golden Eagles there as it's tipped out of bounds, and this one's going to go back to Spalding. Fun fact of the day, Muhammad Ali, he started boxing at 12 years old. He actually began training in the Columbia Gym, which was located across the hall, which is now the student lounge here at Spalding University. Always a cool thing to be able to walk around a university you're not necessarily familiar with. Once again, there's a nice open right hand from Isis Rogers. She's able to tie it up at 15. Eureka trying to get an offensive drive going, and Zarello on the fast break loses that one out of bounds. Clock stopping at 6:50. Both teams tied at 15 apiece. Once again, we're going to see Sydney Racky be the inbounder for the Golden Eagles. Reich not making it easy. It looks like she had a hand on it, but Racky once again coming up with it. Hollowell bounce pass back to Racky. Now in the hands of Lute. Lute going up against Reich. Eureka running a man defensive zone. Left hand there. No good. And it looks like we're going to see Racky have an opportunity at the line for 2. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria, an Epson distributor serving Central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. You can learn about sustainable printing solutions from citybluetechnologies.com. Racky at the line, only going 1 for 2, but it is enough to put the Golden Eagles back on top, 16-15. There's a pass from Ness picked off by Rogers, and very quickly, a Spalding turnover. There's another example. Spalding just moving a little bit too quickly there. Seems to be a lack of awareness from both sides right now. Teams moving a little too fast, just not when they need to. That's a huge issue that we've seen for the Red Devils all season long. Here's Ness, open mid-range, puts it up, no good. Najera tried to get the offensive board, instead knocks it out of bounds. Once again, we're going to see Spalding come up with it. So it's just over 6 minutes left to go. Golden Eagles still on top, 16-15. It's going to be Hollowell trying to inbound against Najera. This one nearly picked off by Webb. Instead, Douglas ends up with it. She's going to run up the floor, bounce pass in the paint. Now Hollowell outside goes for the 3. That one rolls in and out. Looks like Lute and Reich fighting for the rebound. It is going to go back into Eureka territory here. That is a foul against Lute. Team's 3rd foul of the game. Not a lot of fouls between both sides, and it's hard to foul when both teams just aren't scoring a ton of points in the first half. Spalding 16, Eureka 15. Maya Webb looks like she was pushed and fires the ball out of bounds on the fall. And it looks like they're going to call this one a turnover. It definitely looked like a foul. Ref may be missing a call there, but Spalding will get the basketball. Luke comes up with it. Double teamed by Reich and Nahera. Now over to Douglas. Also double teamed, and Ness picking that one off. Eureka. Another fast break opportunity. Ness spinning in and out. Had an opportunity to go there, and now Douglas picks it off. Back-to-back turnovers for both teams. Douglas no good on the first attempt, and on attempt number 2, she is going to get fouled, and she now will get sent to the line in hopes of extending that Golden Eagles lead. Second team foul for the Red Devils. So, once again, Abascal and Redgate coming back into the game for Eureka. Going to see Douglas here try to extend the lead. Douglas, season high 16 points at Principia. She also has about 12 rebounds in her last 5 games. Obviously, Douglas, from what we've seen here in this game, a very aggressive player, misses that second attempt, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds. Looks like that one's going to go against Spalding. Eureka once again getting the basketball. Eureka catching a break there. Douglas going 0 for 2 at the line. Douglas, usually a very great free throw line shooter. 5.79% at the line. Jackson now. Here's a corner 3 from Reich. That one too short. Redgate. Abascal now top of the key, running in the paint. Pass outside. Nahera. Corner 3. No good. This one quickly rebounded by Spalding here. Looks like Reich tangled up. It is going to be a jump ball. As I was mentioning, the three-point shooting for the Red Devils hasn't been the greatest this season, and obviously something that they've been trying to stay away from, but when you have open opportunities like that, it's almost hard to pass it up. Eureka only shooting 22.9% from the field this season. Obviously, you like to see that number increase just a little higher, but it's right around that average percentile. Lute coming up with the basketball. Jackson able to take that one away, and once again, Lute finds a way to grab back onto it. Douglas against Holtz puts it up, no good. Great job by Bryn Holtz to put her hands up. Abascal needing help here. Oh, loose ball, and there's a huge collusion between 3 players, Nahera, Jackson, and it looks like Coach Hedrick just got a technical foul. Not really liking the call there. They're going to call a foul against one of the Spalding players, ending up on the ground. It looks like Lute on the ground after... No, it doesn't look like Lute. One of the Spalding players, after a huge collusion, Jackson and Nahera. So she's taking a moment here to get checked out on clock, stopping at 4:38. Spalding still remains on top, 16-15. That player on the ground for Spalding, Malin Reidner, severely shaken up there. Just needing a minute to take a couple of breaths. Yeah, just needing a moment to breathe there. Finally, she will be helped up to her feet. And it looks like she will be coming out of this game after a big collusion there. But game keeps moving. Coach Hedrick looking on the field. Looks like there's some altercation between some of the players right now. Not really sure what's going on. I'm doing my best to try to figure it out. Looks like somebody's taunting one of the Spalding players. I'm not really sure what's going on. The way I'm positioned, I can't really see anything underneath me right now, but Lute is going to finally go to the line and shoot her free throws after a Coach Hedrick technical. Makes her first one, making it 17-5. Lute, as I mentioned earlier, 140 total points in her freshman season. Missing that second attempt there. But Spalding extending their lead now, 17 for the Golden Eagles, 15 for the Red Devils. And after the technical, Spalding will be able to keep the basketball. 4:38 left on the clock. Finally, Lute gets it in. Hollowell back to Lute, guarded by Holtz. Hollowell top of the key. Douglas thinking about it. Lute now. One thing about this Red Devils team is that once you flip on that switch, if you make them angry in any way, they will start to use that as momentum. So they really just flipped the switch there for the Red Devils as Douglas making a layup. Eureka now with the basketball. Spalding 19, Eureka 15. Jackson fighting in the paint. Now Holtz. Nearly taken away from Douglas. Naheda finding some room. Holtz is going to go up for the three. That one no good. Tried to get her own rebound. Cannot do so. Lute now with the basketball. Eureka really trying to get this basketball back now. Here's a three. That one no good. It's actually going to go over the backboard. Bounce out of bounds. So a three from Racky there. No good. Clock stopping at 3:40. Eureka trying to find, once again, momentum. The story of the season. That first quarter, they ended up on top, leading not by a huge score, but good enough. Here's an open layup for Redgate. She's able to put that one up and in, cutting the lead down to 2. So Eureka finally getting something going offensively. Lute now in trouble. Bounce pass. Thinking about the three was Racky. Doesn't go for it. Guarded by Abascal. Now Douglas, top of the key. Hollowell. Batiste in trouble herself. 9 seconds on the shot clock for the Golden Eagles. Lute trying to take it herself. Left hand blocked. Also blocked is Batiste, and Holtz coming up with it. Holtz fast break opportunity. And looks like she will get called for an offensive foul. That'll be a turnover for Eureka. Once again, another Spalding player on the floor, having to be helped to her feet. This time, it's going to be Racky.
Subbing in for Eureka, number 33, Josie Ness.
Ness comes in the game for the Red Devils.
And back in for Spalding, number 5, Caitlin Ryder.
Looks like Reidner is back into the game for Spalding after that huge collusion. Once again, thank you for tuning in to EC 103.1. Matthew Swan on the call. Here's a mid-range from Hollowell. That one falls in. So the Golden Eagles able to extend their lead with over 2.5 left to go in the quarter number 2. 21-17. Eureka still trailing Abascal. Trying to find some room. Triple teamed right now, and she's losing the basketball. Fighting over. Looks like there's some pushing between both teams. Pushing between both teams. Obviously, this isn't what you want to see, but Spalding making it very difficult right now. Right away from the get-go, you can just tell Michaelia Lute, obviously not a team player. She seems to be the one who gets involved in a lot of these confrontations here early on. And for Spalding, it looks like we're going to see Reidner maybe at the line. I'm not sure who the foul call was against, but both teams did start pushing and shoving a little bit, had to get separated. And it looks like that one is going to go against Spalding. So Eureka will remain with the basketball. 21 for Spalding, 17 for Eureka. 2:23 left to go. Naheda, the inbounder. She's going to give it to Jackson. Jackson in the paint, puts it up, and good. So there's an answer after that little brawl. Looks like Coach Hedrick wanted a foul call, not getting one. Yelling at the ref. Game continues. Lute now. Reidner guarded by Abascal. Having trouble. Eureka's defense heating up a little bit here. Neheta fighting against the screen. Tips the ball out. Lute floats it up. That one no good. Gets her own rebound. Blocked there by Ness, and they're going to get a foul call. Not really sure where the foul was, as looked like Ness got all basketball there. But they're going to let Lute have a shot at 2 here. A very wacky basketball game right now here in Louisville, Kentucky. Spalding remaining on top, 21. Of course, Eureka still with 19 points. So Lute able to make that first one. In the first quarter, Lute didn't have any points at all. She went 0 for 1 from the field, obviously becoming a little bit more aggressive here in the second quarter. And she goes 2 for 2 from the line there, making it a 23-19 game. Golden Eagles still on top. So Eureka back with the basketball. Abascal guarded by Douglas. Eureka trying to cut the lead down just a little bit more. Neheta to Ness. Ness in the paint, spins, double teamed, and she is going to get fouled. So finally the ref steps in, not really letting Spalding anymore take advantage there. It seemed like Spalding was getting away with a lot more calls, and finally Eureka able to catch a small little break there. Neheta once again the inbounder. Over to Moore. Moore trips and falls. It looks like maybe it was shoved a little bit. Jackson comes up with the basketball. Abascal here, mid-range. That one good. 23-21. Eureka now only down by 2. Very quickly, Spalding trying to come up with an answer. They have numbers, and that one thrown out of bounds by Hollowell. Excuse me, that was not Hollowell. That was Smith who threw it out of bounds. Smith seeing her first few minutes in this game. Immediately, a turnover for Spalding. Not the start Smith wanted, I'm sure. But we will see Eureka with the basketball once again in what has been a very low-scoring game between both sides. And on top of that, obviously a lot of drama as well. More open opportunity. She's blocked. Ness puts it up and ties it up at 23. Just about 43 seconds left to go, and Douglas losing the basketball out of bounds. Eureka getting it back, having an opportunity to grab the lead back. So Abascal will take it up the floor. Douglas going to guard her. Past that half-court line. Moore fighting for the basketball. Gets it, trips and falls. Douglas comes up with it. Now Jackson. Bounce pass. Abascal, pump fake. Puts it up, no good. Gets her own rebound. And Eureka grabbing the lead once again. 25-23. Well, I told you that confrontation definitely flipped the switch in these Red Devils players. And that's never something you want to do, because Eureka will take advantage, grabbing the lead once again. And there, a mid-range from Racky. She ties it up at 25, 2 seconds on the clock. And that is how the second quarter will close. Both teams 25 points. As I mentioned, a very low-scoring game in that second quarter especially. A lot of confrontation between both teams, not happy with each other. Obviously, an injured player at first was Reidner, but she was able to get back in the game and stay up on her feet. But that is how this first half will close out. Eureka 25, Spalding 25. Stay tuned for the second half coverage coming up next here on EC 103.1.
The Pegasus has been Eureka College's news source since 1889. Reports from the Pegasus can now be heard on EC 1031. I'm Emily Virgil, Pegasus Editor-in-Chief. Catch your 2-minute Pegasus news update weekdays at 8:20, 12:20, and 5:20 right here. We'll discuss events happening all over campus and let you know what the Pegasus staff has planned for its next issue. It's the 2-minute Pegasus news update weekdays at 8:20, 12:20, and 5:20 on EC 1031.
People won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news on air, online, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Welcome to the Eureka Red Devils basketball halftime show. My name is Matthew Swan. Today I'm here with head baseball coach Noah Suarez. Suarez, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Swan. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing pretty well myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to start with a general question.
Okay.
Tell us about your journey to becoming the head baseball coach at Eureka and what inspired you to pursue a career in coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from a little town in Ohio called Newton Falls. It's over by the Cleveland area, by Lake Erie. I played 5 years of college baseball, starting out at a junior college, Mercyhurst Northeast in Erie, Pennsylvania. And then I played 4 years at Salem University, a Division II program in West Virginia. After that, I was an assistant coach at Salem University for a year. And then prior to coming here, I was the head baseball coach at Philander Smith University, an NAIA program in Little Rock, Arkansas, and then I took the job here. Basically what happened was, man, as soon as I came pretty much for my interview about a year ago today, I just fell in love with this place. This is exactly like my hometown in Ohio, which was awesome. Exactly where I went to school in West Virginia. This is pretty identical. So, I mean, when I came for my interview, I was just like, I just felt at home, right? And I met with a lot of the team, a lot of the personnel at the school, and I liked everyone's values here, and I thought I could make an immediate impact at the baseball program, which we clearly did this past season. So I think everything just fell together perfectly.
Mm-hmm. So what about the environment at Eureka College makes it feel like home?
Yeah, it's a small town, and we have a tremendous amount of support as a baseball program specifically. I mean, my town in Ohio only has about 5,000 people. Eureka only has about 5,000 people, right?
Yeah.
Where I went to college only had about 800 students. Eureka has about 600, right? So it was pretty similar, pretty identical, and it's just that small town feel that I really like.
Mm-hmm. My next question is more about the team and player development. What specific strategies do you use to motivate your players both on and off the field?
Yeah, so what's really cool is I'm 26 years old. I'm a young head coach. My assistant coach, he's young as well, right? So we bring a ton of energy every single day, and I think our players really feed off of that energy and a positive mindset, right? Whether we are up 10 or down 10, Coach Ryan and myself always keep that same mindset. We're the same person every single day, and I think that really helps our guys feed off that. So that really kind of helps us motivate our guys a little bit, and then bringing in a bunch of new kids this year too, there's a ton of opportunity for guys to play right away. So I think that's a huge motivation factor as well.
Mm-hmm. My next question is more in terms of game strategy. What is your approach to game strategy, and how do you prepare for any opponents that we face?
Yeah, so we use scouting reports that we do. We use something called 6-4-3 charts, and what that basically shows us is, I mean, where a guy hits, where he puts the ball in play, what pitchers do, what they throw. So we're really in-depth in the statistic category, especially this year coming up. Our goal is to win 25 games this year, and how we're going to do that is we're going to have advanced scouting reports.
Yeah, and I'm sure that 6-4-3 has helped a lot, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, that was a big thing that we incorporated last year. We didn't necessarily use it a ton as a team, but myself and Coach Ryan, we used that a ton in our scouting reports and just how we were going to mentally and physically prepare for these games moving forward. That was something that helped us pretty much break every single program record last year.
Mm-hmm. My next question, how do you handle in-game pressure and manage crucial decisions in tight situations?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So obviously being a young guy, right, I'm super fiery. I'm sure you saw that by now, right? So I just try to be the same person whether we're up 10 runs or down 10 runs, right? So even when we're in those late game scenarios where everything's really crucial, I just try to stay as calm as I can. And I think if the guys are seeing me calm, that kind of helps them also remain calm, and just in pressure situations, right? We really excelled last year, and I think we're going to excel this year too.
Yeah. And would you say that that high energy but also being able to stay calm type of coaching would better help the players play baseball out on the field?
No, absolutely. I think it makes us play loose, right? And that's the biggest thing is we were in a lot of late game scenarios last year where we hit walk-offs. And I think if they can kind of see me being calm, that really kind of helps them a little bit too, and it takes the pressure off these kids as well.
Mm-hmm. My next question, how do you balance your personal life with the demanding schedule of a college baseball coach?
Personal life, I don't know about that, but I'm pretty much here 24/7, to be honest with you. So my family's back in Ohio, my girlfriend's in Maryland, so there isn't anyone really here with me, right? So in terms of personal life, I mean, I really have one, but at the same time, when I'm here, man, I'm just locked in 24/7, to be honest with you. So there is a little bit of balance. Obviously, I need my breaks and stuff when I go home for like Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, and it's nice to see my girlfriend and my family like that. But for the most part, man, when I'm here, I'm trying to pursue my dream and trying to pursue all my goals I have.
Mm-hmm. How would you say being locked in here at Eureka benefits the players and overall your, I guess, team performance?
No, that's a great question too, Swan. I think with me just being locked in, it shows these guys that I'm really invested to them, right? And I'm invested to this program. And I think that's really kind of what helped us excel last year is just having a coach that's always here, right? And someone they can always go talk to, and someone that always, especially being young too, right? I can really get a good feel for all these kids because I'm not very far out of college either. So I think that really helps the guys kind of, again, settle and just really show them that I'm here for them, right?
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, I think we're going to be a really good team this year. I'm really excited to see what we're able to do. Make sure you come out March 1st when we're in Rockford. Our first home game, I believe, is March 5th when we play Knox College this year. So I'm excited. I hope we have the support that we did last year, and go Red Devils.
Yeah, once again, Suarez, thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Matthew Swan, Noah Suarez, thank you for tuning in to the Eureka Red Devils basketball halftime show.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Getting a rocket into space is one thing. Returning it to Earth is another. I'm Dr. Lynn Pascarella, president of the American Association of Colleges and Universities. And today on the Academic Minute, Marcos Fernandez-Taus, assistant professor of rocket propulsion and hypersonic aerodynamics at the University of North Dakota, examines the research that goes into doing so safely.
We have all seen it, a formidable crest of water surrounding a spacecraft structure as it bursts into the ocean. However, this image does not speak for the technical complexities of a well-designed splashdown. Except for a few exceptions such as the shuttle, most of the manned spacecraft recovered from the scorching re-entry fell into the sea. One must just remember the Gemini or Apollo missions, or more recently the SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft. The problem seems simple, a solid body impacting into water. Von Karman studied it in 1929, but applied it to seaplane floats instead. The conic shape of the Mercury capsule became a standard, with a D-shaped base that absorbed most of the heat generated by friction as the air surrounding the structure hit an incredible speed of 27,500 kilometers per hour. Then came the deceleration phase, with a gentler, cooling flow as the capsule continued its descending. By then, about half of the shield had boiled off. The drogue parachute deployed, which pulled out a bigger one. Finally, the capsule dived into the sea at a much safer speed of about 25 meters per second. The development of numerical methods gave way to a new science, computation fluid dynamics, or CFD, whose development was pursued in earnest from the 1950s. Since then, CFD has been successful in solving very complex movements of fluids in a wide variety of science fields. It has also been used in splashdown analysis. So next time you watch a splashdown, think of the significant effort that took a team of engineers to figure out whether the structural robustness would stand the impact of water and where should they expect the largest bending deformation along the metal shirt.
That was Marcos Fernandez-Taus of the University of North Dakota. You can find this, other segments, and more information about the professors at academicminute.org.
Production support for the Academic Minute comes from AAC and U, advancing liberal learning and research for the public good.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members, of their families or their children, asking them to deploy, patrol, stay on watch, on point, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to bring them all the way home, to keep them secure, to have their backs for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs do whatever it takes to help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Find out how you can help